Good morning, Ian Crouch with your 8:30 Hunter News update. SafeWork New South Wales is investigating the death of a worker on the M1 to Raymond Terrace extension project overnight. Emergency services were called to a work site on the New England Highway at Taro just before midnight. Police have been told a 45-year-old man was standing behind a parked truck being loaded by a material transfer vehicle when he was struck and died at the scene. The man is yet to be formally identified. The male driver was taken to Maitland Hospital for mandatory testing. Police have established a crime scene and a report will be prepared for the coroner. Newcastle MP Tim Crackenthorpe is calling for an upgrade of Newcastle's ferries. Peter Hislop reports.
The MV Hunter, one of two to service the Queen's Wharf to Stockton route, was taken out of service in February and following routine inspections broke down. No slipway facility was available nearby, causing delays in returning it to service. When the other ferry, the MV Shortland, broke down in early September, the whole service went offline for 26 hours and Keolis Downer was forced to call up replacement buses. Now Newcastle MP Tim Crackenthorpe has written to Transport Minister John Graham asking him to replace the fleet, saying the two vessels have been in operation since 1986. He says hundreds of Novocastrians use the ferry every day and the state government could introduce a zero-emissions service.
The development phase of the long-talked-about high-speed rail link between Newcastle and Sydney has been given the green light by Infrastructure Australia. The federal government's independent advisory body has backed further exploration of high-speed rail, including engaging with contractors and sorting out the nuts and bolts of the design. A business case for the project gives a delivery date of 2037 for the section between Newcastle and the Central Coast, with the Sydney connection to be completed by 2039. A 21-year-old man has been refused bail and will face court in January, charged with a string of alleged domestic violence offences. Police were called to a Rutherford home on Sunday, where it's claimed a woman had been assaulted by a man known to her. It's alleged the man had broken into her home, damaged her property and threatened her on previous occasions. He was arrested yesterday at Rutherford and refused bail on 8 charges, including common assault, stalking and breaking and entering. Newcastle Liberal councillor Jenny Barry says Rising Tide protesters should take their blockade to Lake Burley Griffin in Canberra. She's recently returned from a trip to Japan and says the Hunters' coal customers are keen on a clean energy future. Jenny Barry believes the upcoming blockade is reckless and targets the wrong sites.
The risk to people's human life is so high when they start to break the law, go through the maritime channel, the shipping channel. It's just reckless. You can't just go and graffiti on ships. They're huge. If a line snaps and something happens, it's just not right.
Newcastle athletes are gearing up for the City Triathlon returning on Sunday, continuing a 3-decade-long tradition. The event includes competitions for everyone from adults to 7 to 9-year-olds. Organiser Paul Humphrey says thousands are expected to turn out.
We've got about 900 competitors. That includes all the people in the relay teams, which is a great field for a triathlon. Lots of juniors. We've got over 100 juniors, which is really good for the sport. Spectators, lots of mums and dads and friends and family coming to watch their loved ones.
2NURFM Sport.
Denman's Quiver Bray will spend her second summer with the Sydney Sixers in the WBBL. The 16-year-old has decided to give up school to focus on her cricket career. Bray has told NBN it was a hard decision to make.
It's definitely a big one. Obviously, all my siblings, they went through to year 12 and uni, but I think with my pathway that I'm trying to succeed in, I think if I move down to Sydney and start doing training more times a week, that would be able to help me succeed that quicker.
Meanwhile, round 8 of the local cricket kicks off tomorrow with Belmont hosting Wallsend and Cardiff hosting City. University will travel to Waratah while Charlestown hosts Wests. The round finishes with Stockton playing Toronto and Hamilton travelling to Merewether. And the decision for a Hunter horse changing of the guard to run at Flemington next year has not yet been made. The horse will get some time off before competing in a different 2-mile race next year. Trainer Chris Lee says they're aiming for the Sydney Cup in April 2026. And the winning numbers in Powerball are 7, 11, 15, 16, 22, 33 and 34, and the Powerball is 13. And now you're up to date with the latest 2NURFM Hunter News.